When you're ready, Keisha.
Take it away.
All right, good day, everyone. Um, so today we're gonna talk about something called. Don't know when y'all can see.
Same.
Okay, cool. So we're going into the wide world of deepfake. Um, is AI making the world a scarier place? Okay, so let's go. All right, so some of you all might have seen this video before. This was Bert talking to this little cool kid
Maybe
about.
not General Dan.
Huh?
Maybe not General Dan.
Oh, General Dan would know this, yeah. There's before Elmo Will thing, General Dan. So yeah, Ernie talking to this kid about his paper clips. Very sad. Um, sadly,
That's Bert, not Ernie.
good, but that was our test. Good job. We know you all. Um, yeah. So this is Bert and this kid talking about paper clips. We could just watch the video a little bit. You can't hear, sadly. Um, I was trying to share with Keisha the other day. I thought we had got it to work, but I tried with Keisha again and failure. Right. So
Well,
here,
you
just
could
take.
you could narrate it first.
Okay. That make you sad? Yeah, it makes me sad. Right, so that is Ernie there. But so just watch the kid face, watch it good, watch it in motion here, and then let's see what deepfakes are about. So we go on to the next slide, which sadly I can't hear, but as you can see, there's for the fighters among us, you can see this is Mike Tyson's face on the poor kid. So just going back
Terrible,
here,
terrible.
look at the kid here. And now there's Mike Tyson's face superimposed on this child. Look at it. The movement is awesome. The lips are synced perfectly.
This is terrible.
I'll just put the link here for you all too, so you could just, if you want to just hear it, you can hear it as well. Yeah. So basically, what this technology does is it there's a source video and a target video, and they use artificial intelligence. So here you can see, right? Yeah. So we have the source video, the target video. They use artificial intelligence to basically the algorithms would map certain data points on the faces, the lips, nose, cheeks, and they would actually get the the source video, so like the celebrity in this case, Mike Tyson, to latch on and move in the same way as the source video guy. So it moves around. It moves around well. You will see more advanced AIs can get the shading right at certain points, shadowing, that sort of stuff. So videos are basically just many 2D frames. So each frame, the AI would take a look at the video it's trying to mimic, and then sort of like massage the face of Mike Tyson in this case to move around, eyes, everything. So that is like not his natural movement of anything there. How his eyes moving, the lips, all that is AI that is manipulating those movements to make it look as if it's actually Mike Tyson's face on this child here, right? So they use um, we use it's a so just as just the definition here. So it's just a technique for human image synthesis based on artificial intelligence. It used to combine and superimpose existing images and videos onto source images and videos using a machine learning technique known as generative adversarial networks, GANs, right? So the AI would generate the new images for the fake, and it would lip sync the voices and stuff like that. So what's cool about this, or the term deepfakes as well, was it's the origination of it supposed to be from a Reddit user by the name of Deepfakes, who I don't know if he started the r/deepfakes, but he was one of the first ones who started posting videos using the algorithms. So that's how the term deepfakes kind of come about. Um, yeah, so the general adversarial network, it was made by um, Ian Goodfellow. He worked at Google. He developed it in 2014. So GAN basically is a neural network composed of two arguing sides, two arguing AIs. So basically, you have a generator AI, an adversary AI, and they basically fight amongst themselves until the generator wins. So, um, for example, so think of let's say we wanted to use a GAN to create we were doing spam emails. So you would have a spam filter in Outlook. So if you wanted to fool that spam filter, you could actually have an AI be trained to create emails and have another AI to basically mock the spam filter. So you're training the other AI to spot emails that look like spam. So basically, they will be fighting each other. One will be trying to create an email, so it will start with an iteration, create an email. The other AI will say, "Nah, this looks like spam." It would then try to improve upon that. So it would maybe remove words that the spam filter might be looking for, and keep iterating and keep fighting until he gets an email that could pass that spam filter. So same thing with the videos. Um, one would be there to detect a celebrity's face. So you would train it, you would feed it several videos of a celebrity, train it in how the celebrity talks in interviews, when they say certain words, how their cheeks move, how their lips move, that sort of things. And then you would be trying to create an image of that celebrity to fake to pass that test that says, well, now I know this is not this celebrity here. Um, so yeah, so it have stuff like how they sound, the eyes, eyebrows, lips, cheek movement, all those things. This is what they train against and fight against. Right. So, well, what is the point of this whole deepfake thing? So one of the things, as you can see from the beginning, was entertainment. So this little image here, this is not a deepfake, but it was something like what deepfakes is doing now, which is replacing a known face onto an actor or some unknown person. So in the movie Rogue One, there was an actress who you can see the points on her face there. So those were data points, and all the movements of those data points, they were fed to a computer-generated image of Carrie Fisher. So, and that was with supercomputers and really expensive GPUs and stuff like that. Now, with the deepfakes, there are apps that you can download, apps on your phone. You can just a few clicks and you're good to go there. You can actually do something like what was done in the video before with Mike Tyson. It could be done on an easier scale with just images. To do the videos, we'll need a little more training and stuff like that, but it's actually pretty easy now and very believable the things you could do with the deepfake software. Some more in the realm of academia, there are people who. So a guy was describing his research. I can't remember the university, but his research was basically they had tapes of people describing the experience, survivors of Chernobyl, and describing the experience. And he thought of, well, how cool it would be to actually put the face to those voices, as if someone was having a conversation with you and telling you that story, and it would be more meaningful in that way. There are other researchers doing stuff like trying to synthesize molecules and different chemicals. So they would train it against. They have the idea of what they want, what they're trying to fight, the diseases they're trying to fight, and they could feed in different. They have algorithms to basically make the molecules that they might need to help fight the diseases. probably explain it very poorly. There was some where they were feeding them synthetic brain images, brain MRI images with tumors, and especially at the early stages as well. So to help find out, they could help early detection for brain tumors and stuff like that, because you feed in it this known history of images that have these brain tumors from before it fully formed. The AI becomes more and more aware of like what to look for, right? So this one here. So anybody could guess which one of these are fake, which one of these are real? Plot twist.
Bottom right. The bottom right.
Plot twist. All these faces are actually, all these faces are fake. Some of them you can definitely tell. So like, let's say the last row, third column, that one looks too weird. I mean, actually, he could be a real person in 2019, but this was a gun invented by NVIDIA. The intent was to produce high quality photographs of fake people.
This
So-
one with the orange background, that fake, right?
All fake, all fake. So what they actually did was they start off with celebrities. Yeah, they started off with celebrities. So maybe you might even notice some celebrity faces in them, but they started off with celebrities and then they used the GAN to train them to create realistic looking photos. But the base was like a celebrity's picture. Yeah, so that was one of the cool things NVIDIA had done.
Like a next level catfish, right?
So as you can see with like the same guy who is in the third column on the bottom row, it have definite flaws in the process, even from the Mike Tyson video. You could see flaws in the process. So especially the earlier deepfakes, the images don't always match the exact position of the person's head. Because so it's 2D images basically, right? Each frame of a video is a 2D image. But because of lighting and other things like that, there's a sense of 3D in terms of lighting and how the faces, angles, and things like that. So these GANs have to rotate these images and change lighting and do a whole set of instructions to try to get this right. But every day it's becoming more and more believable with the stuff they do, because the more training it gets, the better they get. So subtle animations work well, but more quick movements in the head and the face, things like that, you will tend to notice the artifacts, the breaking up in the face, things like that. You'll have blurry coloring along where the edge of the face, the source faces and the target faces. So you'll get to see things like that. There are different traits. So things like how much on average humans blink. So a lot of the deepfakes you see now, they don't blink as much, but with more and more, all you need to do is basically just train these things. One of the security advisors was saying how they had developed their own network to fight against, to detect the fakes. So one of the processes they were using was that when blood runs through your body, every time your heart beats and blood runs through your face, your face color actually changes. So they were using like a sort of heat map thing to detect that little color variation. But they were saying that as fast as you come up with the idea of how to counteract a deepfake, the deepfake people will just train the model for that thing. So it boils down to like an arms race of, you know, who gets what first. So as long as you fixing, they fixing as well. Okay, so one of the biggest threats right now is the American general elections for 2020. So I think one of the first scary videos that came out was a video of the House Speaker for the Democrats, Nancy Pelosi. There was a video of her slurring her speech that Fox News had put out in an attempt to make her look bad in the eyes of the public. And they produced the original video. So it was shown that it was the deepfake software was used to make the video like that. and somebody voiced over the slurring of the speech and things like that. Um, so the House Intelligence Committee actually just I think this month, they held a first hearing on the subject to hear from technocrats, hear from the people in the industry who know, to try to see how they could to understand it more as well as to combat it with laws. Because as you could see, imagine um, so how Donald Trump, President Trump, right now uses Twitter basically as his mouthpiece for all his news policies and things like that. Imagine if someone somehow just deepfakes something saying like he just launched nukes at some person that goes viral around the world. Nobody fact checks anything, and then it might seem like an extreme edge case, but depending on how real these things get and how fast media moves through with people sharing and not fact check anything, you can see how dangerous some of these things could be. Um, One of the other big problems right now, a very convincing one, I think was BuzzFeed had put it out. So I could send you video after, but basically, so this image of Obama on the left is actually not Obama in full. His face, I wish I could have drawn a little cutout on it, but basically his face is generated by a gun, by a deep fake. So the everywhere else is real, but the facial expression there right now was made by a computer. And Jordan, so you heard him. The video started with him speaking, saying some things you didn't think he would say. It had some little choice words and stuff like that. But the video was basically to show how scary the deepfakes could be and how aware people need to be. So it started off with him saying, going through a little speech and saying some stuff and calling President Trump a name. And then it went to this final side-by-side reel here with Jordan Peele, where he was doing his voice impersonation of Obama. And it was lip-synced very good, especially if you had to watch this on like a mobile device with a smaller screen. You could definitely get take with something like this. Right. One of the other problems right now, celebrity pornography and revenge pornography. So Scarlett Johansson was one of the most, probably the highest profile person that it happened to recently, where they swapped her face on a porn star's body. So I mean, you can imagine the embarrassment for people like that, but not just celebrities, but even normal everyday women have been coming out saying that somebody would have sent them something from some site, and they're saying it's them, and they were like, well, they want to know what's going on. So people have been doing this, and you can see the negative way this could be used to hurt people, and it don't really have laws covering this type of thing. Scarlett Johansson was saying how it might be probably a waste of time to even bother to fight it, due to not just not having enough laws to fight it, but because you have different laws in different countries. So one of the examples, she was saying how you might have a copyright claim in America, but the same copyright law might not apply to Germany. And I mean, the internet is global, so stopping it in one place don't mean anything, right? So that is some of the stuff that they have to figure out in Washington, how to fight this, how to allow it to be used for good or for fun entertainment. So there's one of Nicolas Cage in every movie. So they did things like Sound of Music and stuff like that, and they put Nicolas Cage in everything. So stuff like that is fun, but then when you have people's faces going on pornography, right? So, right. So deepfake software. So a desktop app called Fake App was launched in 2018. Users could easily create and share videos with faces swapped. It used an artificial neural network and the power of your standard graphics processor. Well, not standard graphics, but you would need fairly powerful GPUs to create these videos. You had to you had to train it for the videos. A lot of training was needed, so you'd have to feed it a lot of videos of like the thing you're trying to fake over. So the target, you have to feed it both a lot of the target video and the source video, and it would use TensorFlow. to do out the AI stuff. Um, one of the so it's like a 300 megabyte download. You could try at your own risk, but when I was looking up into it, one of the pulls for the on GitHub, I think the developer, he had actually inserted a crypto miner in it. So basically, since he's using your GPU and it's for free, he probably just thought, well, he might as well make some money off of you. So just you gotta be careful with the free apps out there. The um, there was face swap is like a good one as well. It's not video. So I think Smo was one of the first people I see with it. So basically, it's just using a neural network to do so like how you'd see filters on Snapchat. I think I don't know if Snapchat filters are actually neural network stuff, but I know the face swap app for sure is one. And it would basically take your face. Let's say you put on the older filter on it. It will actually look for certain points in your faces where old people will have more things like crow's feet by your eyes and stuff like that. I was supposed to take some images and put it up here, but I don't have it. But you all can try the face swap program. It's actually pretty fun. And that's all, folks. That's all we have for today. What's that? That's it. That's all we have time for. This was fun. I hope there aren't any
That
questions.
is really appropriate way you're sharing that.
Oh, yeah. So there's like the real power here right now. If you all want to help with this, that'll be great.
Oh, does it?
Is this
Yeah,
Power Hours Real Vibes from team?
It had
Yeah.
so well it hopefully will have a part two. So there's actually open source fake app deep fake software that you can get on GitHub. I think it's running with Python. So I want to try that next, but it'll probably need a lot of training and stuff like that with the images and things. But that'll hopefully be a part two to this sometime in the future.
And well, I do have one little question down there. I don't. Like, it's just a thought question, which is, well, have you seen deep fakes and 3D? So you could do deep fakes for video, but essentially it's as you said, it's multiple
2D frame.
2D frames.
Mhm.
But have you seen or heard anything about deep fakes at the 3D level? So that if you wanted, if you could, so you could do a 360 video of a deep fake.
A 360
I
video.
mean, 3D is just an additional access, so I don't see why not. It's just more data to process.
Mm.
When you say 3D, like a three-dimensional image or like a 3D panoramic kind of view thing or something?
I think I'm thinking panoramic view.
Oh.
Because so if you look at the question I asked down below, it was related to, well, what if you could, I guess, reduce how frequently people could do deepfakes if you had multi-point perspective of live events.
Oh, okay. I hear you.
All right. Well, this presentation was vibes so far.
That actually, as you say, that was one of the when I was checking up some stuff on the security experts, that was actually one of the points of things. That's exactly, I think to me it was exactly what you say. There were multiple viewing angles to help fight it, actually. So yeah.
Good.
Cool stuff. And to answer your question at the beginning, Paul, yes, it's making it a little scary.
I'm real sorry about more examples though. I wish I could have just put more stuff, but time was fighting. And we can't share videos together. It's sad. But go and watch the Nicolas Cage deepfake. Check out the Obama deepfake, which was pretty convincing as well.
Any more questions? Anyone? Thoughts?
I just want to comment that I saw one with Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, that one as well. That one was a little not as good, but it was very good as well. I think he wanted it to take it down, but they fought for it to stay up. But all that, as well as the Obama one, was just in terms of how scary it could be and what you could get people to say. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, good stuff.
Those cool feet. All right. No one else has any more questions? Because so we end all.
Well, it's not really a question. It's just how he brought up the territorial laws in different countries, etc. So I was doing some reading on stuff like that. So it had just, reminded me of that. And the same thing, for stuff where data is being stored in multiple territories or what have you, what law is applied to what, etc., and stuff like that. So as he said, that makes quite a lot of things, particularly yes, like with stuff like this, very, very hard to sift through. So as he said, unfortunately, what happens is a lot of people have no choice but to either cave or give up or attempt to ignore or what have you, so that is just the age that we live in and how laws kind of get tied up into knots with regard to technology. Okay. So it was just something that just triggered that memory of something I was reading into recently.
I have a question. You know, Avatar did something similar when they were creating their movie back in 2010. I was wondering if this is along the same lines of what they were doing, and if it maybe the period of time for development for it to get this good was that 9 or 10 years. But at the point in time when Avatar made their movie and putting dots on faces and having computers track it and whatever, it looked pretty good then. So I don't know. My mind just kind of wondering, was it the same thing they did? If 9 years has passed, how come it's not like magnitudes of times better than Avatar was?
Hey, Rich. Hey, Rich. Yeah,
Yep,
man.
yep.
I would invite you to probably just watch back Avatar. So, like, when we watch things and we now see it for the first time, it's look amazing, man. And
Right.
sometimes we don't realize how far things have progressed until we go back and watch them again. Have nothing to do with anything I know about in terms of the technology, but I just say, just generally, when you're watching movies, it look good now, and then 5 years later, it look like trash.
Good point.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I don't even think the stuff in Avatar comparing to what they did with like Thanos in Avengers, man.
So this deepfake thing is a similar thing to what they would have done with Thanos.
No, it's not. So that heavily is reliant upon computer generated graphics and talented CG artists. So they would go in and so the same sort of depth and shadowing and stuff and the translucency in the skin and thing I was talking about, those artists would have go in there and touched up those 3D models to do that. So this isn't a 3D model. It's basically 2D frames, 2D images. So every video is basically a frame. So you could just stop, take a frame, take that 2D image, cut out the part you don't want, and add in the so yeah. So let's think of it like that. So it cutting out like a rectangle in your face, and then it will slap on the rectangle of a face of another person, like a celeb, and then so the techniques would use would have been like put data points like on your eyes, your lips, your nose, and see the range of movement, and then try to apply the range of movement from the original video to that new thing. So that's what it wouldn't be like computer generated 3D models and then artists doing anything.
Those 3D models follow like some type of motion capture. So that's what they would have done for Avatar. So the dots is just
and for Thanos as well, yeah.
Yeah, and for Thanos.
Right. So you're getting a more accurate representation with the dots and the movement because it have heavy tracking, but it's more software tracking. Same type of dots thing in essence, but software will be tracking like the range of movements and stuff like that.
So one is
a big
actually, one's
difference.
actual fake,
yeah. So the motion
which is
capture
kind of scary.
still ahead, but it's real. It's scary how. So these are things you could do with like apps on your desktop and your phone, which is scary, as Kichi said, because of if the mere fact you could do it with your phone. Imagine if so somebody with a supercomputer try to use the neural network and do something, you will get way more, and especially if you train it for a really long time, you'll get way more realistic stuff.
Gotcha.
So men like Trump counting on this technology to come forth so that he could say everything is fake news. Or
That is one of the things that they were saying in the hearing and they were afraid of. Because even now, so when the original grab him by the you know what came out, he had apologized, and then like a year later, he actually said how he don't think the video is authentic. So just imagine now the amount of things he just say and go back on, he could just say it was a fake video, a deep fake or something like that.
Yeah, that's scary.
I think we
that's
need
why
to
you
be.
come to us sour this morning.
No, I think we need to be careful about media conclusions about technology, because to the extent that Trump could say that's a fake video, you actually have you have to have a population that understands that fake videos could exist. And so if Trump could say something that's a fake video, then you're teaching the population about that technology in a significant way. But beyond that, we are technologists. We have to ask ourselves, what is this? How are we using this, and why is this beneficial? Or beyond the fear mongering, because fear mongering in technology only leads to inactivity. It doesn't lead to exploration. It doesn't lead to anything meaningful. So I'm glad that there's a lot of in advance this thing is frightening perspectives, but that means it makes space for us to ask, well, what else could this be used for beyond the entertainment factors we see it for? Maybe it's just understanding how powerful generative adversarial networks can be, because that's a big deal to me. Maybe just being able to process and create data like that is something that just our awareness of might let us think in different ways about solutions.
Just make a comment there, because I do agree with you, Irwin, and I was thinking about that, but I was also thinking that, to me, like, how you introduce it is important, because it didn't introduce it in a positive way. Like, the first thing we saw about this, well, at least in a widespread kind of way, was changing people to say something that they never said initially. Like, it was introduced like that. So immediately, you also introduce with the tech a bunch of fears, which it will be hard to kind of move away from that or think about it in a different light. So, I mean, it's just important how something is introduced to the masses. Because I was thinking, yeah, beyond the tomfoolery with changing people's speech and all of that foolishness, like, it's actually pretty impressive tech, and you don't want to have that be lost inside of the nonsense that people do with it. So, but I mean, it's just sad that it was introduced that way. But like, if you look behind that, is actually pretty powerful stuff.
I'm gonna share an image from the face swap app. So this is just me here, the original image, and using the neural network.
You see, I'm not seeing the screen.
Oh, yes, I press send. This Teams is trash. Yeah, and just now I'm gonna grab.
Take that back.
Oh, it's not all man beef. You know it's trash.
Picture you Pete there.
Yeah, just now. So that is the original, and then gun it up, but yeah, I gun it up.
Gun it up. Gun it.
But you use Garnet Silk.
That's all Pete there.
What?
They have one too to make you smile,
It's in
and
the
I
chat.
was scared because that.
It's in the chat.
Oh, it's in the chat though.
I know, but the
Yeah,
chat
but
hard
was
to
you so
use now.
silent in the chat?
You saw what man there, man?
Yeah, boy, they had one for smiling too, boy. So like they actually do a thing to put. I feel like they're checking the size of your mouth and then they put in what they feel your teeth should look like, boy. And I thought it was my teeth, boy. I was scared, boy.
Let me see
I thought you
picture.
were going to send pretty Pete, like.
Oh, no. Can't.
So now, boy.
Yes, anyone years ago.
Anything,
Calm
Ugo?
down, by Justin, boy. Anyhow, I go on this.
You are real interested in seeing
I
I
find
find so, boy.
Justin real interested in that, boy.
Going on here, boy. Oh, I look
It's
like
a
everybody
request by
grandpa,
Pete,
boy.
like.
What trouble is this? Well, let's check all their family tree, yeah? Yeah, be everybody grandpa, boy. Anyhow, I have a problem to deal with. I go on. It was nice.
Just so, boy. All right.
It's pretty interesting.
Rita.
Pieces.
Great talk.
Come back from
Oh, buddy, what?
outro,
Later.
Still
Oh.
9 minutes.
Pam, padam, pam.
Goodbye, guys.